you're good at keeping perspective. It's important to try to do. I was in the tunnel after that game, walking downstairs, and there was a member of the front office, and kind of just one thing you learn in my line of work is when you see those guys, you kind of just give them silence. You don't try to after a game like that. They don't want to talk. You know what I mean? Like, like we're just. I see you, little head nod, keep it moving, and
but they knew they let one go.
The exact response was, we bleeping gave it away.
Yeah, you gave it away. And the thing else I know, Landfill had I think he asked a question last night, what is the worst loss this year? I wouldn't say it's the worst.
Really?
I'd say the worst loss was that Green Bay loss. Nobody did anything right in that damn game.
Yeah.
So when you look at a game like that, when you do nothing right at all, you know, that's bad to me because there's no way you practice that long and you play like they did against Green Bay. Last night, there were good things in that game. Hey, Luke got a damn third touchdown in a row. I'm loving that now. Jalen Lane up the sideline. The thing about it is, we always talk about it. I think it's thrown away when people say it. Everything becomes cliche in football. Well, win the turnover battle. Win in the trenches. You didn't win the turnover battle. And that's why you lost that game.
100%.
As simple as that. Like, even with 2 turnovers, just go down, control the ball, you win a football game. It could have taken time off the clock. We can go and start dissecting what things could happen better. But a lot of times when they got the ball back with time and they could take some off, they came out with a quick, like a pass or something on the first play. Now you're behind the chains. Now now the defense knows about what you're going to run. So some things have to change up a little bit, but they got to always remember, this game, as it gets tighter, that's when you got to concentrate more. You got to take care of the little things.
I can't imagine really that a lot of folks, when they got the ball late in that game with what seemed like an opportunity for a good drive, go down the field, maybe you kick a field goal to seal it up. Yeah. You're only up 2 at that point, or maybe even score a touchdown. Mm-hmm. I want to be crystal clear. Jaden Daniels, after the game, took full responsibility for the fumble.
Yeah.
Which he should. He said he lost focus on the snap. If you watch it back, he never had the ball coming in on the snap, let alone the handoff.
Yeah.
The wet ball stuff is silly. Both teams had a wet ball.
Both teams had a wet ball. I'll say this. It's a lot of stuff when you're all that different little thing. Like, one of my guys on my little text thread hit me and said, man, don't you think it would have been much better just putting them on the center at that point? Yeah, after, everybody, revisionist history, we can say a lot. Probably would have been.
I don't disagree with that. But that's also the league, dude.
It's the league.
The league runs out of pistol, out of shotgun.
They run out of pistol,
time.
But when you got, nobody's going to say the wet ball. But you know what? The wet ball does cause problems.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. My stance is, how many games has Jaden won for this team late? And if you want to say Jaden lost it last night, okay. That's what he said.
He said that.
We've reached a stage with a second-year quarterback. That's probably what he started every game last year, right? So that's 17.
He missed a couple. Missed one, didn't he?
He came out, but he started them.
He started the next one, too?
The ones he came out, like the Panthers he came out, the Cowboys he started. I believe he started all 17 last year. But, so 17 last year and now 4 this year, I think. So that's, call it 20 games roughly. Mm-hmm. He's probably won them, I don't know, 15? You know what I mean? Where it's like you can directly attribute his play. Last night, he had a tough game. The pick, he was just late on. I don't think he saw the safety. If that ball comes out earlier, probably is a touchdown to Debo. Thank you, Jeffrey. The fumble at the end is really unforgivable. I can't imagine he's going to forgive himself, knowing Jaden. But you
He'll
always
get past
say,
it.
Yeah, I think he gets past it by Dallas. But you always say turnovers are one thing, but when you turn the ball over,
yeah.
And for them to have that fumble in that situation, it was really disastrous. You know what I mean? Like everything's set up for them to kind of steal a game because Chicago. The way I looked at this game last night, you had two teams kind of playing hot potato, trying to give the other team the win. Mm-hmm. Like Chicago did a whole lot to try to give Washington the win, and it was who's going to make the last bad play, and this time it was Jaden.
Yeah.
It was,
and no one ever expected or suspected that.
No.
And I think, but that's football. And I think when you look at football overall, we listen to what they say, we watch them, and we expect perfection. The coaches and players know they won't get perfection, and you're going to have those type of plays around in your career in a season. But will they define you, or will they make or break you? You get what I'm saying?
Totally.
And I think they're like Bill with the fumble last night, and you see it's 2 games in a row, and people will go, "Oh man!" But in a sense, they were 2 totally different fumbles. You know what I mean? The one last night, he'll learn. When I'm spinning in this traffic, I got to put the other hand on the ball. The one when he had in L.A., he was on his way down, and they were able to get the ball. You know what I mean? You got to learn to just protect it in different ways. Jaden, everything he said last night, I just shook my head like, okay, because this dude is not trying to BS nobody. He's telling you exactly what he feels and what he thinks, and he moves forward from it. And Santana and I last night doing the show, and Tanner, the coolest dude in the world, he was like, B, I'm not even mad. I'm like, he said, because, bruh, we had it, but you can't turn the ball over. He said, as simple as that, we always talk about turnover battles. And it gets thrown to the right, and I'm sure that a lot of people be like, oh, yeah, they say that every week. That ish makes a difference.
For sure.
Blank. Yeah.
For sure. I think it was that's a really frustrating loss. I think Washington put themselves in position to steal it, basically. Mm-hmm. But there are things individual to that game that are problematic, but you kind of think they exist in a vacuum, in a silo. Like Jaden, that was his first pick of the season, first turnover of the season. Then to have the fumble late, that to me exists in a vacuum. That was one weird bad game that he turned the ball over.
Yeah.
Bill fumbling twice in 2 weeks. I'm not sure that's a silo thing. That you wonder if there's a question there.
I don't think you make it into a question. I mean, it's like I said, it's 2 separate ways of what happened. I don't think it's a big deal at this point, because we look at the problem with today. We look at everything based off of statistics and analytics. Oh, 2 in 2 weeks, okay, but look at how they happen, and then he can correct that. He if he learns from it and puts the focus on it, he can correct it real quick. Now, if he doesn't pay attention to it, he's gonna have a damn problem.
For sure. That correctable, sure, can't happen again. Like, it's already at the, like, if he puts another one on the ground in Dallas, it's like, oh boy. You know what I mean? Like, that thing has multiplied. I think, dude, because of the butterfly effect of football games, if you will, Matt Gay doinking that field goal late in the second quarter. Mm-hmm. If that's good,
yeah,
then you get late in this game and and Caleb has to get a touchdown, not a field goal. You know what I mean? Like, and Gay has had a couple good games in a row now. I believe he made 8 in a row.
Yeah,
but that miss yesterday was brutal, and it was a 51-yarder. 51-yarders have become routine in the NFL.
They become routine, but I think the difference between media and fans, coaches can't just be. That coach is going to also say this guy just hit 8 in a row. He's not going to say, he's going to just look at the one last night. And I understand it. And listen, I'm human just like anybody else. When you see it, you go, what the hell? Because you see so many people making them. But what you going to go get? Who are the other people out there? I think that's the main thing. When you start thinking about letting someone go at this moment and bringing somebody in, the guy that you're trying to bring in probably ain't going to be as good as be better than that dude as you're going to let go.
I agree with that too.
Changing faces.
I agree with that too.
Yeah.
But that's something that they created by not having competition for a staff that talks about competition all the time. And you might be entirely right that like the other part of this that I think is lost, and it's a next man up league, and I understand all that. Offensively, they're just depleted, man. Yeah. Like they ran that 13 personnel a lot, right? Mitch pointed this out on the podcast last night. They ran that 13 personnel a ton, and you have one wide receiver out there.
Yeah.
More often than not, it was Chris Moore. And Chris Moore had a decent game last night.
Chris Moore played okay last night.
Second half, he had a ball hit him in the helmet. It wouldn't been the easiest catch, but you like to think he makes that catch. But the touchdown grab was a hell of a grab. But, they're depleted offensively. If you think about their playmakers going into the season, what you thought you'd have, I think this team misses Eckler a lot. Clearly, Terry McLaurin not playing is impacting them. Even Noah Brown, to a lesser degree, is a good, big, physical outside receiver. Not having those guys makes an impact, and none of this is excuse making, because the reality be a few things that do not exist in a silo at all. Mm-hmm. These slow starts. It was 13-0 last night,
and they have to correct that. That's the only thing that. Well, I left the game with two major hurdles: turnovers and that.
The turnovers, absolutely, right? But
turnovers
the slow starts
are the slow starts, I don't know. It's like you can't put your finger on it, and I'm sure Dan is probably, I'm about to say scratching his head, but he ain't got no hair just like me. He's probably as perplexed as I am. Why? Because this was a team that didn't start like that for the most part all last year. And there are players that you look at them and you're like, okay, they're going to motivate this team. I don't know if people are waiting for someone to show up to be that guy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think if you are there and you're in a uniform, be the guy. Stop waiting. I've said it, and I know that everybody talks about leadership and being a leader. You don't have to be. Look, there's nothing in the book that says you have to wait this amount of years to become a leader. If you are, you are. And you just have to show up, lead, and start making plays. Because one thing about being a leader, you can't be being a leader if you're not doing a damn thing on the field. Somebody's going to have to get it done, because right now, it's like they don't start doing until somebody, they feel like they're being beat. And you got to come out the mindset that I'm already down. Let's go with it. Because once they get hitting them out, they know how to respond. Just remember the big old dude used to let the trainer slap him in the face all the time?
Yeah.
Let somebody slap the hell out of you. Be hitting them out. And then come out there with an attitude or something, because I don't know what that is. They got to fix that.
So the couple things to me that are deeply concerning, the slow starts, they were trying to say they were just on the road. Well, last night was at home. And shout out to that crowd and to kind of the pregame ceremony show, whatever you want to call it. The crowd was awesome. That place was packed.
Yeah.
The national anthem performance by the singer from the Navy was phenomenal. It was just a really cool visual with that giant flag and the wind blowing. There is zero reason for that game to start slow.
Yeah.
And offensively, I mean, the first drive, Washington's defense was just getting gashed. They kind of buckle up down in the red zone, give up 3. Then Jaden throws the pick on the first drive when Washington had a pretty decent drive going. To open a game, pick fumble is about as bad as it can go.
I'll use this analogy. You always see the heavyweight championship fight, they say, where they filling each other out.
Yeah.
What I noticed in games is we filling people out, but they throwing haymakers. You get what I'm saying? We got to learn this team is not trying to fill us out. They are showing us off the bat what they're going to do. And we have to go from thinking, okay, the first round, we're going to come out there and just bob and weave and knock the hell out of somebody early. It's an analogy. But the ultimate thing is we go out there trying to find out what their game plan is. They come out, they don't give a damn what ours is. They know what they're trying to do.
Well, that's my other concern. Last night, Chicago came into this game with the worst rushing defense in the league. Now, granted, they get linebacker T.J. Edwards back.
Yeah, but they had 8 in the box like a mug.
then throw it on them.
Yeah, you got to come with a game plan off of that. And I think we still
They
felt
couldn't
we
run the
it.
ball
Yeah.
for bleep last night. And then defensively, I mean, they got gashed. DeAndre Swift finished 14 for 108. He had the one long one.
He's gassed them last year.
Dude, I don't know what was more concerning last night, the inability to run the ball or the inability to stop the run. But you and I always joke about it. As much as everybody likes to make football a really complex game,
It's easy.
When you lose the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, it's really hard to win.
Football is about running and stopping the run. If you run the ball and you can stop the run, you win football games. I know everybody with fantasy all want to see somebody throw the ball around the damn yard. Still, old school football mindset will win games for you. If your guys are tougher at the point of attack and your guys can push people back, you're going to win. I'm talking about your big guys. If your big guys are getting pushed back, I don't care who you have at your skill position and everything else, you're going to lose. Buffalo, they lost last night.
Yeah.
Why? They were getting whipped at the offensive line and defensive line positions. Still, look, these quarterbacks, yes, we give them all the love, all the glory. They can't win by themselves. I said, I know people probably turn their nose up at it, most dependent position in all the sports. And although we say, yeah, they make people better, they can't do a damn thing without somebody helping them.
It was it's a really, really bad loss, and they were in position to steal a win, frankly, even with 2 turnovers, inability to run the ball or stop the run. And then the last turnover just broke them. You just 3 minutes left in a tight game where you're driving to ideally get a go-ahead field goal. You can't put the ball on the ground there.
You can't, but it's not an automatic that team needs to go down and score either.
Defense could have gotten a stop. Chicago got that ball at their own 44. So if you get a 3 and out there, you're getting the ball back with a chance to win it again. They couldn't do that. It was, really, really just disheartening. We're going to open these phone lines up at 11, let everybody chime in. You're now 3-3. Just the table was set last night to win that game, tie Philly for the division lead in the East, and they just
Everything is still in front of them, though.
Chicago gets 1st and 10 at the 44. It's a 2-yard run for Swift. Payne makes a tackle. Then they run it again, 3-yard gain. Payne again makes a tackle. So it's 3rd and 5. It's a 2-minute warning. At this point, you got all your timeouts left. Get a stop there, and you're right back in it. Because Chicago, I think, would have to punt unless it was a 4th and short. And Loveland, the tight end, the rookie tight end that's largely done nothing for Chicago, is able to get open, 6-yard gain, 1st down. Mm-hmm. And it was like, honestly, in that moment, it almost felt like they were like, we're cooked. Because Swift is then able to run a 10-yard run and then a 15-yard run, which made the field goal just easy pickings for Moody. It was they had blocked a field goal earlier in the game. The refs were terrible in this thing.
Well, going into that game, we knew that.
Right. And I think the refs had an outsized impact on the Bears, frankly. The illegal formation call that cost them that Rome Odunze touchdown. Like, Washington had a chance to steal a win. And I think last year they did that. Last night they did not. The turnover at the end is just an absolute killer. The turnover at the end I don't think happens 9 times out of 10. Last night was the one, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of the stuff that happened, I think, are real problems that this team needs to address. I don't know that you find an answer in mid-October, but
you can find an answer.
They damn sure better try.